cut them off silently. In this journey we call life, we often find ourselves entangled in webs woven by others, some delicate, yet others insidious and suffocating. There comes a moment when we must learn the art of silent severance, the graceful act of cutting off those who do not serve our highest good. It is not an act of malice, but a quiet declaration of self-respect. We must embrace the truth that we are worthy of joy, worthy of peace. As we navigate through the corridors of our relationships, we encounter souls that ignite our spirits and others that dim our light. Those who thrive on toxicity, whose words slice like daggers, and whose presence weighs heavy on our hearts must be acknowledged. They are the shadows that lurk in the corners of our lives, and it is our sacred duty to shine our light fiercely enough to cast them out. In this silence, we reclaim our power. We need not shout nor raise our fists in anger. The strength of our resolve is found in the quiet choices we make. Sometimes the most profound expression of love for ourselves is found in the absence of voices that do not nurture our growth. It is in this absence that we create space for laughter, joy, and genuine connections to flourish. Empathy and compassion are vital threads in the fabric of humanity. And while we may recognize the struggles of others, we must not allow their burdens to become ours. The act of cutting someone off silently is not a rejection of their humanity, it is a commitment to our own. In choosing our well-being, we affirm that it is okay to walk away, to disengage, to create distance where needed. As we embrace this practice of silent severance, let us find strength in our resolve. Let us recognize that, like a river flowing unimpeded, we have the right to carve our own path, one that nurtures our spirit and aligns with our values. We can emerge from this process empowered, renewed, and ready to welcome relationships that honor our journey. It is in the stillness, in the quietude of our hearts, where we find the clarity to cut those who no longer belong in our lives. So let us embrace this wisdom, this art of cutting them off silently, and allow the light of our being to shine ever more brightly. In the tender embrace of self-respect lies the foundation upon which we build our lives. It is the quiet knowing that we are deserving of love and honor, not just from others, but from ourselves. To cultivate this self-respect is to affirm our worth in a world that often seeks to diminish it. Too many of us wander through life, allowing the opinions and judgments of others to dictate how we feel about ourselves, our aspirations, and our very existence. This, my dear friends, must cease. When we stand in the radiant light of self-respect, we recognize the value we bring to the tapestry of humanity. We learn to speak our truth, to express our needs and desires with clarity and courage. It is not arrogance, rather, it is the gentle confidence that whispers, I am here, I matter, and I will no longer accept anything less than what I deserve. This is the moment we draw the line, understanding that our worth is not contingent upon the approval of those who fail to appreciate our beauty. As we cultivate this inner sanctuary of respect, we begin to see the toxic threads woven into our relationships. We observe the subtle erosion of our spirit, the way our laughter becomes a faint echo, muffled by the weight of unworthy companions. In the presence of those who do not uplift us, we find our light dimmed, our laughter stifled, our hearts burdened by the shadows they cast. It is here, at this crossroads, that we must choose. We can either continue to absorb their negativity or summon the strength to let go. Letting go is not a sign of weakness, it is an act of profound strength. To cut off those who do not nurture our spirit is to honor the sacred promise we make to ourselves to choose joy, to choose love, to choose love. When we walk away from toxic influences, we create a space for the divine to fill our hearts with what we truly deserve. It is the ultimate act of self-love, the recognition that we are worthy of respect, kindness, and unwavering support. So, dear ones, let us nurture our self-respect like a fragile blossom, watering it with kindness and care. Let us prune away the thorns that threaten to suffocate our growth. As we stand firm in our worth, we become beacons of hope and strength, illuminating the path for others to follow. In this powerful journey of self-discovery, we learn that self-respect is not merely a concept, but a way of life, a guiding principle that shapes our choices, our relationships, and our destiny. Let us embrace the beautiful truth that we are enough, just as we are. In this truth lies our power to create a life filled with love, authenticity, and fulfillment. And as we rise in self-respect, we cultivate a garden of relationships that reflect our worth, nurturing our souls and inviting us to thrive. We deserve nothing less. In a world that often reverberates with the cacophony of opinions and voices, we must remember that silence can be a formidable weapon, a silent testament to our self-respect and an act of liberation. When we choose to remain silent in the face of disrespect, we send a powerful message: we will not be diminished. It is an echo that ripples through the air, touching those who have taken our kindness for granted, leaving them to grapple with the weight of their own actions. Your silence, dear ones, can be a mirror reflecting their behavior back to them, illuminating the truths they have chosen to ignore. In the intricate dance of relationships, there comes a time when words no longer serve us, when our voices fall upon deaf ears, and our truths are met with indifference. In these moments, it becomes essential to embrace the strength of our silence. It is not a retreat, but a strategic withdrawal, a declaration that we will no longer engage in dialogues that diminish our worth. Your silence becomes a shield, protecting your spirit from the relentless barrage of negativity and disrespect. And while it may appear passive, know that it carries the weight of conviction. As we stand in this silence, we force others to confront their actions. The absence of your voice can be louder than any outcry. Those who thrive on your energy, who feast upon your kindness without reciprocation, will be left to ponder the void you create. It is in this space that they must confront the consequences of their behavior. Your silence holds them accountable, compelling them to reflect on the imbalance that has existed for far too long. They may question why you have withdrawn, why their words and actions no longer elicit a response, and this introspection can lead to profound realizations. Yet, let us be clear, this silence is not a weapon wielded with malice, but rather a self-protective measure rooted in love for oneself. It is the recognition that you have chosen to value your own peace over the tumultuous noise of unworthy interactions. The moment you choose silence, you reclaim your power, allowing the noise of others to fade into the background. It is a quiet revolution, a declaration that your emotional well-being is paramount and that you refuse to be a mere spectator in your own life. So as you cultivate the strength to remain silent, let it be a sacred act of self-respect. Embrace the beauty of your solitude and let it nurture the seeds of your personal growth. In your silence, you empower not just yourself, but those around you to reflect, to learn, and to change. You invite them to rise to a higher standard, and while some may resist this awakening, others will be compelled to transform, to adjust their sails, and to honor the sanctity of your presence. Remember, your silence is not a void, it is a space filled with potential. It holds the promise of deeper understanding, both for you and for those who once took your voice for granted. As you step back, as you allow your silence to resonate, you create room for healing and transformation, not just for yourself, but for those who need to recognize the beauty of what they have lost. In this, you find the power of your own voice, even in its absence, as you honor your journey and reclaim your place in the world with dignity and grace. In the fabric of our lives, we often encounter threads that tug at our spirits, pulling us down into a shadowy abyss. These toxic relationships can seep into our souls like ink in water, coloring our existence with hues of doubt, pain, and resentment. They whisper insidious lies that erode our self-worth, telling us we are not enough, that our dreams are too grand, and that our laughter is an unwelcome sound. It is essential to recognize these toxic forces, for they are not merely obstacles, they are chains that bind us to despair. As we navigate this world, we must learn to discern between those who uplift us and those who drain our essence. Toxicity wears many faces: criticism disguised as concern, manipulation wrapped in false affection, and negativity hidden beneath a veneer of camaraderie. It often masquerades as friendship, slipping through the cracks of our vulnerability. We may be drawn to these relationships believing that love should be unconditional, that loyalty is paramount, yet we must understand that loyalty to our well-being takes precedence. It is vital to acknowledge the signs, the way our hearts feel heavy in their presence, how joy becomes an elusive memory, and how we find ourselves questioning our worth after every interaction. These are not mere inconveniences, they are alarm bells ringing in the silence, urging us to wake up and recognize the damage being done. We must learn to listen to these signals, to trust that gut feeling that tells us something is amiss. To break free from these toxic ties requires courage, a deep-seated belief that we deserve more than what is being offered. It is a call to reclaim our power, to declare with unwavering resolve that we will not allow anyone to define us, to diminish our spirit. In doing so, we must remember that severing these ties does not necessitate a grand spectacle or a dramatic exit. Rather, it often demands a quiet strength, a resolve to step away from that which does not serve us. When we choose to remove ourselves from toxic relationships, we create space for healing and growth. The act of distancing ourselves may leave the other person confused, even angry. They may not understand why the light has dimmed, why the laughter has faded into the background. But in this silence, we find our own voices emerging with clarity, echoing truths long silenced by the weight of their negativity. To walk away from toxicity is to affirm our right to happiness. It is a radical act of love, not just for ourselves, but for those who truly cherish and uplift us. It allows us to seek connections that nurture our souls, that celebrate our victories, and that stand by us in our darkest moments. As we release the toxic influences, we invite the warmth of genuine relationships to envelop us, igniting the spark of joy that lies dormant beneath the weight of doubt. This journey toward liberation may not be easy. It may stir discomfort and provoke questions from those left behind. Yet, as we stand firm in our resolve, we embody the truth that we are worthy of love that does not come with strings attached, respect that does not demand sacrifice, and joy that does not fade in the shadows. We must embrace the beautiful reality that while we cannot control the actions of others, we can control how we respond. We can choose to rise above the toxicity, to cut those ties quietly yet resolutely, allowing the space for healing, growth, and transformation to flourish. As we step into this new chapter, we discover the power of our own resilience, the strength of our spirit, and the boundless love that awaits us when we prioritize our well-being above all else. In the tapestry of our lives, inner peace is the golden thread that binds us, the quiet refuge we seek amidst the chaos of existence. It is the serene sanctuary where our spirits can breathe freely, a place untouched by the clamor of judgment and the noise of discontent. Yet, in this tumultuous world where conflict and discord seem to reign, we often find ourselves relinquishing our inner peace to the very relationships that should uplift us. The weight of negativity can be suffocating, and we must recognize that true serenity is a precious gift we must fiercely protect. To cherish our inner peace is to embrace the truth that we are the guardians of our emotional landscapes. We must cultivate a deep awareness of what nourishes our spirits and what drains our energy. Those who surround us can either be the gentle rain that nourishes the flowers of our soul or the harsh winds that threaten to uproot us. In recognizing this, we empower ourselves to make conscious choices, to invite only those who nurture our essence into our lives. In moments of reflection, we may feel the burdens of toxic relationships, the way their presence creates ripples of unrest in our hearts. Each interaction that leaves us feeling diminished, each word that cuts like a knife, chips away at the tranquility we strive to maintain. We must confront the reality that remaining in these relationships can lead to a slow erosion of our inner peace, a gradual acceptance of a tumultuous state that becomes our new normal. But, dear ones, we are not meant to live in the storm. To protect our inner peace requires courage, a willingness to confront the uncomfortable truth that not all relationships are meant to last. When we recognize the toxicity that surrounds us, we are called to make choices that honor our well-being. This does not mean we must engage in confrontations that escalate into conflict sometimes. The most profound act of love we can show ourselves is to step away quietly, to create distance where none existed before. When we sever the ties to those who disturb our tranquility, we reclaim our power. We allow the winds of change to sweep through our lives, clearing away the debris of negativity and making room for the light to shine through. It is in this sacred space that our inner peace can flourish. We can hear our own thoughts once again, reconnect with our passions, and embrace the beauty that life has to offer. Our silence in the face of toxicity speaks volumes. It sends a clear message that we value our inner peace above all else. Those who have thrived on our energy may find themselves bewildered, left to ponder the absence of our laughter and warmth. In this void, they may come to realize the imbalance they perpetuated, and in this realization, they may find an opportunity for growth, a chance to reflect upon their actions and the impact they had on our spirits. As we embark on this journey of self-preservation, let us embrace the knowledge that inner peace is not merely an absence of conflict, but a state of being, a harmonious alignment with our true selves. We cultivate it through mindfulness, through nurturing our passions, and through surrounding ourselves with those who elevate our spirits. The relationships that honor our inner peace are the ones that remind us of our worth, that inspire us to reach for the stars, and that stand by us in times of trouble. In embracing this path, we find that the strength of our inner peace radiates outward, inviting others to join us in this sacred journey. We become beacons of hope, illuminating the way for those still ensnared in the webs of toxicity. Our commitment to our own well-being fosters a ripple effect, inspiring others to honor their own inner peace and seek the connections that nourish their souls. So, dear ones, let us stand firm in our resolve to protect our inner peace. Let us cut off those who seek to disrupt our tranquility, not with anger or resentment, but with the quiet strength of self-love. In doing so, we honor ourselves and create the space for the profound joy and fulfillment that life offers. Our inner peace is a treasure worth fighting for, a sanctuary that will carry us through life's storms and illuminate the path to our highest selves. In the delicate balance of human interaction, silence emerges as a powerful force, one that can stir the deepest emotions and evoke profound change. It is a language unto itself, a silent melody that resonates when words fail. When we choose to remain silent in the face of toxicity, we wield a strength that can cut through the noise of manipulation and negativity. Your silence, dear ones, can become a catalyst for reflection, a mirror that reflects the truths those around you may choose to ignore. In a society that often equates noise with significance, we must remember that silence holds its own weight. It is not the absence of sound, but rather a deliberate choice to step back and allow the space for others to confront their actions. When we cease to engage in conversations that belittle our worth, we create a void, a quiet proclamation that we will no longer participate in dynamics that drain our spirits. This silence can be deafening to those who have grown accustomed to our willingness to appease, to conform, to laugh at their jests even when they sting. As we cultivate this powerful silence, we begin to understand that it is not just an act of withdrawal, but a profound declaration of self-respect. It says, I will no longer allow my voice to be drowned out by the cacophony of your negativity. In this moment, we shift the power dynamics, forcing those who thrive on our energy to confront the reality they have created. When our laughter fades and our responses become measured, they are left to grapple with their choices, to reflect on the imbalance that has existed for far too long. Silence becomes a profound teacher, urging them to seek understanding in the absence of our presence. It challenges them to explore the repercussions of their words and actions, inviting them to engage in a dialogue with their own conscience. Your silence may ignite a flicker of awareness, compelling them to reconsider the toxicity they have woven into their interactions. They may find themselves yearning for the connection they once took for granted, confronted by the emptiness left in your wake. However, it is essential to recognize that this journey does not hinge upon their understanding or acceptance. Your silence serves a dual purpose. It is both an act of self-preservation and a potent invitation for growth, not just for you, but for them. By refusing to engage in cycles of negativity, you empower them to step out of their own shadows, to acknowledge the impact of their behavior, and perhaps even to seek redemption. In this act of quiet defiance, you reclaim your power. You no longer feel compelled to play the role of the peacemaker at the expense of your own spirit. As you cultivate this silence, you create the necessary distance to nurture your own inner peace. It becomes a sanctuary where your voice can flourish in authenticity, a space where you can reconnect with your true self and rediscover the dreams and desires that may have been buried beneath the weight of toxic interactions. Remember, dear ones, that silence is not an absence of strength, but a profound choice that reflects your commitment to your own well-being. It is a statement that declares you will not be swayed by the turbulent waters of others' discontent. As you lean into this silence, you foster an environment that invites healing, not only for yourself, but for those who may seek to transform. Ultimately, your silence can serve as a reminder that you are worthy of love, respect, and joy. It challenges those around you to reconsider the narratives they have spun, compelling them to reflect on the beauty of genuine connection. As you embrace this powerful silence, you not only protect your spirit, but also illuminate the path for others, guiding them toward the possibility of change, understanding, and growth. In this sacred space of silence, we find the courage to redefine our relationships and reclaim the joy that is our birthright. In the rich tapestry of our lives, the relationships we nurture can either uplift our spirits or weigh us down like anchors in turbulent waters. To grow, to flourish, and to become the fullest expression of ourselves, we must surround ourselves with individuals who recognize our worth and encourage our aspirations. When we embrace the profound truth that our silence is a form of self-care, we pave the way for personal growth that can profoundly impact not only ourselves, but also those who remain tethered to us, often unaware of the shadows they cast. To surround ourselves with those who uplift us is to consciously choose companions who reflect the beauty we seek within. These are the souls who celebrate our triumphs, who believe in our dreams, and who hold space for us in our most vulnerable moments. They do not shrink from our brilliance, rather, they illuminate it, encouraging us to reach for the stars. When we engage with individuals who honor our journey, we find the strength to pursue our passions with unbridled enthusiasm. Yet in contrast, the weight of toxic relationships can stifle this growth, creating an environment where our dreams feel unattainable and our light begins to flicker. When we silence our voices in these toxic interactions, we may inadvertently allow negativity to permeate our essence, clouding our vision and dimming our spirit. Your silence, dear ones, is not merely a pause, it is a signal to the universe that you are ready to reclaim your narrative, to step away from the clamor of doubt, and to embrace the freedom that comes from distancing yourself from those who hinder your progress. As we cut off the voices that do not serve us, we foster the courage to invest in our own growth. This silence, while initially heavy with the weight of change, transforms into a powerful affirmation of self-love. It is a commitment to prioritize our dreams, to listen to the whispers of our hearts, and to nurture the passions that ignite our souls. We begin to seek out those who challenge us to be better, who inspire us to step into our greatness, and who remind us that our dreams are not just figments of imagination, but the blueprints of our destinies. In this journey of self-discovery, we may find that our silence has a ripple effect, stirring something profound within those we leave behind. As we detach from toxicity, we may inadvertently inspire them to reflect on their own choices, to question the narratives they have accepted, and to seek connections that nurture their growth. Your silence serves as a beacon, illuminating the path for those who may be ready to break free from their own chains, to recognize the power of surrounding themselves with positivity, and to embrace the beauty of transformation. As we embrace this truth, we learn that our silence does not diminish our worth, it amplifies it. It allows us to step into our power, to reclaim our narratives, and to embrace the vibrant tapestry of our existence. In this silence, we find the courage to pursue our dreams, to honor our journey, and to inspire others to do the same. Your silence is not just killing them, it is liberating you, creating space for a life filled with purpose, joy, and unyielding strength. In a world that often demands our engagement, we must remember that stepping back is not an act of weakness, but a reflection of strength. It requires an understanding that we are worthy of relationships that nourish us, that celebrate our existence, and that uplift our spirits. When we disengage from the toxic influences that surround us, we send a clear message not only to ourselves, but to those who have taken our kindness for granted. Your silence can force them to confront the void left in your absence, prompting them to grapple with the consequences of their actions and the realization of the beauty they have overlooked. In choosing silence, we not only honor our own journey, but also invite others to reflect on their behavior. Those who thrive on our energy may be left bewildered, forced to confront the stark reality of their own choices. They may find themselves grappling with questions they have long avoided. Why is the light gone? What have I done to cause this silence? In this space of introspection, they may awaken. Yet, as we embrace the power of our silence, we must also remember that this journey is not solely about their awakening. It is a sacred act of self-love, a commitment to prioritize our own well-being above all else. By choosing silence, we create a sanctuary within ourselves, a space where we can heal, grow, and reconnect with our true essence. This journey requires us to cultivate the courage to let go of relationships that do not serve us, to step into our power, and to honor our worth. In this quietude, we rediscover the beauty of our own voices. We learn to articulate our needs, desires, and boundaries with clarity and conviction. Your silence transforms into a sanctuary where self-discovery blooms, allowing you to reconnect with the dreams that may have been stifled beneath the weight of toxic interactions. In nurturing your own spirit, you become the architect of your destiny, paving the way for relationships that resonate with your essence. As you step into this new chapter, you may find that your silence serves as an invitation for others to join you on a journey of growth and transformation. Those who once lingered in the shadows may begin to seek the light, inspired by the strength of your resolve. They may reach out, compelled to engage in conversations that encourage healing and understanding. In this way, your silence becomes a beacon, illuminating the path for those who may also yearn for change. So, dear ones, let us embrace the power of our silence as a sacred act of self-preservation and transformation. Your silence is not merely an absence, it is a profound statement that carries the weight of your worth. It compels those around you to confront their actions, to engage in reflection, and to consider the possibility of change. In honoring your own journey, you inspire others to embark on their own paths of self-discovery and growth. Ultimately, your silence serves as a reminder that we are worthy of relationships that nurture our spirits, uplift our dreams, and celebrate our existence. As we step away from toxicity and embrace the quiet strength of our silence, we not only reclaim our power, but also create space for healing, understanding, and genuine connection. Your silence is killing them in the sense that it awakens them to the reality of their choices. And in this awakening, there lies the potential for profound transformation for both you and them. In the grand mosaic of life, our voices are the colors that bring vibrancy to our existence. Yet there are moments when silence becomes the most eloquent expression of our truth, a powerful testament to our resilience and self-worth. When we find ourselves caught in the web of toxic relationships, the act of stepping back, of choosing silence, emerges as a radical act of self-care. This silence is not merely an absence of sound, it is a profound statement that can reverberate through the hearts of those who have taken our kindness for granted. Your silence can become a compelling force, one that challenges the very foundations of the relationships that no longer serve you. As we choose to withdraw from the toxicity that surrounds us, we inadvertently create a space for reflection, not only for ourselves, but for those who have often relied on our presence to fill the void of their own insecurities. Your silence serves as a catalyst, a mirror that reflects the reality of their choices. In that stillness, they are left to grapple with their actions, forced to confront the consequences of their behavior. Questions begin to emerge. What has changed? Why is the light in their eyes dimmed? What have I done to lose such a beautiful spirit? In these moments, your silence becomes a powerful teacher, inviting them to look within and consider the patterns they have woven into the fabric of your relationship. In this silence, there lies a profound opportunity for growth for you and for them. By choosing to withdraw, you reclaim your power and redirect your energy toward healing and self-discovery. You create a sanctuary within yourself, a sacred space where you can reconnect with your dreams, aspirations, and the essence of who you truly are. It is a journey of transformation where you learn to prioritize your well-being, to recognize your worth, and to cultivate relationships that resonate with your spirit. Yet it is important to understand that this journey is not solely about their awakening, it is about embracing your own journey of self-love. Your silence allows you to draw boundaries that protect your heart, and in doing so, you honor the very essence of who you are. As you cultivate this inner strength, you may find that your silence becomes a powerful invitation for others to reflect on their own lives. Those who once thrived on your energy may begin to recognize the void left in your absence, prompting them to reevaluate their choices and the dynamics of your relationship. In embracing the power of your silence, you pave the way for authentic connections, relationships built on mutual respect, understanding, and love. You create the opportunity for those who may have overlooked your brilliance to reconsider their behavior, to acknowledge the beauty they once took for granted, and to seek the light they have allowed to flicker. Your silence, therefore, is not a rejection, it is an invitation, a gentle nudge that encourages them to engage in the work of self-reflection and transformation. As you stand in this truth, remember that your silence carries a weight that can shift the dynamics of your relationships. It teaches those around you that you are worthy of love and respect, that you will no longer tolerate the shadows of negativity that seek to diminish your light. In this journey, you learn to reclaim your voice, to articulate your needs, and to foster connections that uplift your spirit. Ultimately, your silence is a profound statement of self-preservation and empowerment. It serves as a reminder that you have the right to prioritize your well-being, to seek out relationships that resonate with your essence, and to honor the sacred journey of your own self-discovery. As you embrace this silence, you create space for healing, understanding, and genuine connection. Your silence is killing them in the sense that it challenges them to confront their actions, compelling them to acknowledge the consequences of their choices. In this awakening lies the potential for profound transformation for both you and those who may finally recognize the value of your radiant spirit. In the intricate dance of relationships, our silence can become a potent force, a powerful instrument that speaks volumes when words fall short. It is in the act of withdrawing our engagement that we assert our dignity, honoring ourselves in ways that often elude those who have taken our spirit for granted. When we choose silence in the face of toxicity, we craft a profound narrative, one that can provoke reflection, encourage growth, and challenge those around us to reconsider the impact of their actions. Your silence is a mirror, dear ones, reflecting back the truths that may have long been hidden beneath layers of complacency. Those who once relied on your presence to fill their own emotional voids are suddenly confronted with the weight of their choices. In your absence, they may begin to understand the depth of their impact, the ways in which their words and actions have created a chasm between you. Your silence invites them to wrestle with their own shortcomings, to grapple with the consequences of their behavior, and to ponder the questions that linger in the air. What have I lost? Why is their laughter no longer a part of my world? This moment of reckoning, however, is not merely about their awakening, it is also about your liberation. As you step back from the clamor of negativity, you create space for self-discovery and healing. In that silence, you reconnect with your own truth, allowing the whispers of your heart to rise above the noise that has overshadowed your existence. Your silence becomes a sanctuary, a refuge where you can reclaim your dreams, passions, and the essence of who you are. In this sacred space, you learn to listen to the rhythm of your own heart, to the desires that have been buried beneath the weight of toxic interactions. As you nurture this inner connection, you begin to cultivate a sense of clarity, understanding that your silence is not an absence, but a presence, a powerful affirmation of your worth. It teaches you that you have the right to draw boundaries, to protect your spirit, and to prioritize relationships that honor your journey. And yet, while your silence serves as a catalyst for your own growth, it also holds the potential to inspire transformation in others. Those who may have taken you for granted are left to grapple with the emptiness you have created, compelled to seek understanding in the wake of your absence. Your silence may ignite a flicker of awareness within them, urging them to consider the weight of their actions and the ways in which they can evolve. This dynamic becomes a beautiful paradox. As you reclaim your voice through silence, you may inadvertently awaken the voices of those around you. They may begin to understand that their behaviors have consequences, prompting them to embark on their own journeys of self-discovery and growth. Your silence, therefore, becomes a profound invitation for change, a gentle nudge that encourages others to reflect on their lives and consider the beauty of authentic connection. In embracing the power of your silence, you reaffirm your worth and reclaim your narrative. You teach those around you that you will no longer tolerate the shadows of negativity that seek to diminish your light. This silence serves as a powerful declaration of self-respect, a commitment to nurturing relationships that uplift, inspire, and resonate with your spirit. Ultimately, your silence is a declaration of empowerment. It echoes through the lives of those who once took you for granted, challenging them to confront their actions, to reflect on their choices, and to seek the light they have allowed to dim. In this sacred space of silence, you